started. All right, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy Vesty Vest. I'm back at it again, and today I'm out here with Jude, man. Jude, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, bro, it's been a minute, huh?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Go way back, man. Since what? High school?
Italy, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Way back, man. Oh man,
Yeah,
bro.
since Italy. So
All right.
got the link up here, so went to high school and stuff, and now grown men. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, bro.
I'm glad. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, no problem, bro. So yeah, today, man, I just wanted to have a short chat with you, man, about life, yo, how you been, that kind of stuff. So I mean, like, what was the what was the main reason for your parents moving or migrating from Italy to here?
I mean, I think, growing up, there was always an idea that where they came from, there wasn't much of a future for their children, right?
Okay.
So the initial migration to Italy was the process of thinking that, oh, okay, this is the best place for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that as my brothers started getting older, they started realizing that that may not be the best opportunity.
Okay.
I think Italy at the time didn't really offer equal opportunity for higher education.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? Like entry into college and, university institutions, there was a lot of discrimination and a lot of basically picking and choosing who got to go based on different socioeconomic factors.
Oh.
That I think it wasn't as favorable as the US, where you can come in and literally work and get the grades, and then you can earn a scholarship.
For sure.
And I think the U.S., they have public institutions, they have private institutions.
Yep.
So the opportunities were more. So I think we had an aunt that lived here, and her kids were kind of around the same age as me and my brothers. So we moved over here with them for a little bit until my dad could get a job, kind of get in his feet. But I think they felt like this was the best opportunity for us to maximize our potential, you know what I mean?
I feel it, man. And I mean, was Ohio the first state you guys came in? I mean, lived in, or?
Yeah, it's the first state we pretty much settled in.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's why I started going to school, because we moved here during the summer.
Right.
So, during the summertime, you're not going to school, but my parents and stuff like that, they were trying to find jobs in order for when it's time for us to go to school, that we would be, good and ready. So, moved here in June of 2002.
2002, man. Yo, man. We
June
came here in 2002 also, man.
Yeah.
May 11th, 2002, yo.
Yeah, I think I got here because I went to Ghana. I left Italy and I went to Ghana for 2 months.
Okay.
And so we were in Ghana for 2 months, and then we moved to America, I think in June.
Okay. Sweet.
2002, yeah.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to skip middle school and all that, man. Let's jump straight to high school, man.
Yeah.
How was high school for you, man? Any particular things stand out? Any of the teachers or, an experience that stood out to you in high school?
Yeah, in high school, generally, I just remember, Northland being a neighborhood school, right? I knew a lot of the people that went there because we all kind of grew up on this side of town. So, a lot of good memories with people that I had, went to middle school with and, had known them for a while. And the teachers, I definitely remember Dr. Brown.
Dr. Brown.
Dr. Brown was probably the most influential teacher at the time.
Okay.
She made me do STEM club in
real?
9th grade when I didn't. Because 9th grade in 2006, that's when the STEM club started.
Oh,
so I was one of the first people in STEM club at Northland High School when it started.
Man, so that means you probably joined STEM club before I even did, man.
I joined STEM club before you did.
Man,
yes,
that's crazy, bro. If you hadn't said that here, man, I don't think I'd have ever known, man.
No, for real. So Dr. Brown, she just felt like I was going to be an asset to the team.
Yeah.
And that was my first experience with her and her class. And she just always positive, you know what I mean? I just always remember walking in her class, failure's not an option.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And I think I still carry that same mantra, you know what I mean, in everything that I do. So Dr. Brown, definitely one of those positive influences.
Okay.
We had, but football became my thing right around that time. I think high school is when I decided that I was gonna take football seriously.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then being at Northland, we didn't really have a culture of a winning culture, or a culture of people having a lot of success on the field.
Yeah.
So I wanted to definitely be one of the changing, one of the people that kind of changed that.
I see.
And I think my freshman year we weren't that successful, but then moving on, we started having a little bit more success.
Okay.
A lot of more people started coming onto the team, and I think that's where everything started for me, is high school.
I see. I see. I mean, and you mentioned, like high schools where you began to cultivate your interest in football.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Ghanaians, right? The natural sports that we gravitate towards, or to, would be like soccer, man.
Yeah.
So what was it, for you that made you choose football as opposed to soccer?
I don't think I chose football. I think football kind of chose me.
Oh, really?
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I was a soccer player, 100%.
Real?
When I moved here, though, when you move here and you move to a certain type of neighborhood,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The kids aren't outside playing soccer.
Man, I feel you on that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They outside playing football and they playing basketball. So for me, I kind of didn't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go out there and play with the kids or even at recess at school,
Yeah.
football was kind of like the sport of choice. But I think what made me gravitate to it so much is the fact that everybody thought that I couldn't do it.
For real?
You know what I mean?
People doubted you?
I don't want to say doubted me because people are limited by their own imagination of like what they think you could do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think like my family and my friends, they probably just looked at my stature and looked at the fact that I just moved and I'm a foreigner and said like, how you gonna play this game? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're looking at football like you gotta be big and all of these things.
Exactly,
so
man.
I can understand where their reservations were about me being able to do it. But I always liked a challenge.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the fact that like the game was hard and it wasn't easy.
Right.
The fact that people were also saying that, I couldn't do it because I was too small or different things like that. I think that's what fueled me and made me want to say, I want to do it so I can prove those people wrong.
Wow, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's where like the journey was kind of rooted into me discovering my love for football was in how hard it was. You know what I mean? It was hard. So I was like, I want to do this hard sport.
I mean, like, do you feel like you've always been this stubborn? Like going your own way?
No question. No question. I'm a big believer in like being like a disruptor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be an agent of change. You get what I'm saying?
That.
So it's like, for me, it was like you could easily pick the path of least resistance, go with what you're comfortable in.
Yeah.
But I think people grow their most when they become uncomfortable, right? So me putting myself in a sport or an environment where I wasn't that comfortable, I think that's why I was able to grow and maximize my potential on and off the field, within the sport and outside the sport, because I didn't just love football just because of the field stuff. I also loved football because the type of character that you have to build to play football, it transfers to life.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, can you expound on that?
No question. So football is the ultimate team sport.
Okay.
Right? Because nothing on the football field can actually happen. Like, nobody can score a touchdown without the help of somebody else.
Yeah.
And in life, we really can't get ahead for real without the help of other people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In life, we have to learn how to work with each other. In football, we have plays. And within those plays, everybody has a job within a play. And if everybody executes the job, the play is successful.
Okay.
The same in life.
Right.
We're trying to do a task together, a group project.
Right.
Everybody's going to be handed an assignment and something to do within the group. How well you do your job is also my success is in that too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I rely on you doing your job in order for us to be successful.
Exactly.
And I think I love that about football because it teaches you that about life, because that's how you have to be with your family. That's how you have to be with your friends.
Okay.
That's how you have to be in your workspace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's the type of attitude that you have to be. Collaboration, discipline, integrity. All of those are things that football taught me. Not to say that my parents or, they weren't teaching me that, they weren't instilling me in that. Football forced me to practice those habits every day.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I had to wake up and choose discipline.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I had to wake up and choose hard work. I had to wake up and choose perseverance. I had to wake up and choose, determination.
No, I feel you.
And I feel like that's why I'm always encouraging kids, not just football, but to get into sports. You know what I'm saying? Or to get into some type of activity that's strenuous. Because that's life. You know what I mean? Life is strenuous. And if you don't know how to move and adjust off of, being strained or being put in a position where you're stretched, then, you're going to think life is being hard on you.
I see.
Yeah.
Thanks for that explanation, man. But
sure.
I mean, another thing is, a lot of the football players back in, high school, the quarterback, and they have this persona, man, this vibe about them, man. Women gravitate towards them.
Yep.
I mean, they're typically the prom kings and like all that, man. Like how from your perspective, you know, playing football, you know, how do you think that elevated your status in high school?
In high school, I think it didn't do much because I was still in my development. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say that there were more than a handful of people in high school that thought I was gonna be good in football and make it to the level I got. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody thought, you know, it's fun, everyone's playing, it is what it is. But I really took it that serious personally. But I think what it did for me is allow me to have something to shoot for.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Because I looked at that and I was like, oh, okay, so that's what come with it. You know what I mean? So like if you do well on the field, you know what I'm saying, you get this type of attention. Or you do well on the field, you get this type of attention. So like it allowed me to just have something to like aim for and strive for on top of my success on the field. I knew that being having a level of success on the field translates to you kind of being like some type of role model in society.
Yeah.
Where everybody kind of look up to you or everybody kind of look towards you. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
I think growing up there was a lot of different influences, right? You could have we could have been a lot of different things, but for me, I just always idolized the athlete. You know what I mean? They were always the ones giving back to the community. They was always the ones, you know, people always want to take pictures with them.
Yeah.
They were always the ones like dressing nice and looking fly.
I
so
feel
like
you, man.
it gave me something to strive for because I knew that type of attention or the persona that, you know, football built was part of like kind of who I wanted to be and who I wanted to emulate. You know?
I like that, man.
Yeah.
And then you translated from what? From high school to college. What college did you go to?
I went to Bowling Green State University up the road.
Oh.
You know, Toledo. Before you get to Toledo, Bowling Green.
Okay, that's what's up. What's up, man. And what did you study over there?
I studied sports management. I had a minor in entrepreneurship.
Okay.
However, my degree came out to be in a bachelor's in science and education. So I think what happens is, you know, you got the different colleges and they have different majors. But I have a bachelor's degree in education, which I do plan to use one day in the near future. But I studied sports management as a focus with entrepreneurship.
I feel you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, did you feel as though, you know, that Northland education prepped you well enough for what you faced at Bowling Green?
Unfortunately, no. And I'm not going to put that all on Northland.
Yeah.
I just think that I didn't, you know, really have those study habits that kind of I needed to have in order to become the college student that I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So when I got to college, you know, for me, I've never been a school guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be honest. Up until like junior year in high school, I was just doing school just to get by so I can play football.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
But once I realized that, you know, it kind of goes hand in hand because, you know, I had a coach one time tell me like, how you do one thing is how you do everything. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't think that you're gonna work hard all the way on the field and then you're gonna be half-assed in the classroom.
Yeah.
That's not gonna bode well for you. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
So once that kind of clicked junior year, I started getting my grades together in high school, you know, going to summer school. So by the time I went to college, I understood the importance of schoolwork. But I feel like another disadvantage of high school is a lot of the work is just busy work. You know what I mean? Whereas college is critical thinking, problem solving.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? That's a different type of work. That puts your brain to work. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas in high school, they just want to give you busy work. Oh, you know, when you go home, complete this handout and bring it back tomorrow.
Nah, that's so true.
Well, when I went home, I threw my backpack down and I played the video game because there was nothing. It was just, I wasn't really good at getting graded based on completion. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to use my brain. And I feel like teachers in high school, they don't really connect with students like that because they're going off a curriculum that they gotta fulfill a certain status quo. People gotta pass the OGT.
Yes, sir.
Then you gotta go get the ACT and the SAT.
Yeah.
So education is all built like that for you to just meet all these benchmarks. You know what I mean?
Right.
But how many concepts do we really remember from high school?
Not much, man.
How many concepts are we really using from high school even now?
Yeah, man.
So when I got to college, that's when we got into different classes like sport and gender, you know, economics, finance 3000, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of those classes where, you know, the professor's sitting up there lecturing and preaching, but then afterwards, like there's not just busy work, there's work that requires you to think critically, look at something, analyze it, form an opinion about it. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And I think that's the type of education that I kind of, you know, attached to a little bit more. That's why my grades in college were way better than my grades in high school.
I like that. I like that, man. It almost seems that seems like you wanted to be challenged, right? Just
Right.
as just like you talked about being on the field, being
Correct,
challenged.
yeah.
So I really also want to ask you about because you played football in college, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Absolutely.
So what was the football program and at the collegiate level as compared to the high school level?
Oh man, it was a culture shock, to be
For
honest.
real?
Yeah, because at Northland, I felt like I was one of the hardest workers there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's all relative because, to be honest, we didn't have a lot of hard workers. You know what I'm saying? Because
Even
when I got
with
to
Coach
college,
Tucson pushing you guys to the hilt.
man, college is a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about it in college is that in high school, there's a few of us that are probably really truly committed to the craft outside of just playing in the games. You know what I'm saying? But in college, everybody that kind of got there realizes that that's the requirement in order to get to the next level. Ooh. So a lot of these programs that these kids were coming from, they're already used to waking up at 6 a.m. and going to lifts. At Northfield, we worked out after school. So at first, waking up at 5 a.m. and going to a workout was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. You know what I mean? And then just the level of intensity, because now they're giving you money to go to school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not just, I'm just gonna show up whenever I want. Oh, coach, I got this thing, I gotta miss practice. It didn't work like that in college. You were held accountable. Wow. You were held accountable in the classroom. You were held accountable off the field when you're out, with your friends. Yeah. You're held accountable mainly on the field because these coaches, their livelihood surrounded around how you performed on Saturdays.
Okay.
So, in high school, we probably met and watched, tape on the other team for about an hour a week. Well, in college, we're doing that for 2 hours a day.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're meeting and watching. We're talking about football and the strategies we're going to use on the field just as much as we're practicing the game. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So now you really have to learn how to critically think and balance because you got practice and then you got class. And then you still got to get your work done.
Yes, sir.
And then you got the game. And you still got to get your work done. So it was like, I had to learn balance. I had to learn how to, how to think, really. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody was there to wake me up. I had to go to class. And after class, I had to rush, go get my lunch, go get my food. Then I had to go to class after class. I had to go to study hall, do my homework, get up and do it all over again.
Yeah.
And the discipline of doing that over and over and over and over while giving max effort in every sector of that life, I think that's what made the programs different. You know what I mean? I loved it for that because that's where I think I went from a boy to a man. Because when I first got there, I struggled.
For real?
Yeah, I struggled. I struggled with the workouts.
Yeah.
Physically. I struggled with the workouts mentally. I struggled with practice. I struggled with the fact that I wasn't playing right away as a freshman because I thought I was better than I should have, but I really just wasn't ready. Physically or mentally, I just wasn't ready. You know what I mean? And I think I went to that process of just also being a little immature. You know what I mean? And I think the first year was just like a culture shock. So I didn't play. You know what I mean? I sat out. The coaches they didn't play me. They redshirted me. But I think that was the best thing that happened to me. It allowed me to develop physically, mentally, emotionally, and everything so that after that, I never left the field again. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say. Is just that college just took it up a different notch.
No, I feel you. I feel you on that. And I mean, who decides when you're ready to play? I mean, the coaches, they ultimately have to decide, oh, Jude is ready now to go in?
Yeah, like college is ultra infused with competition, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got freshmen, you got sophomores, you got juniors, you got seniors, you know what I mean? So I think we had a very senior-led team.
Okay.
My first year.
Yeah.
So the coaches kind of let the seniors and the juniors kind of ride that year out. Sure. But then the next year we were a young team. We were loaded with freshmen and sophomores. So then it became a competition, you know what I mean? And whoever comes out on top, usually after training camp is who gets to play. But by the second year came around, I was ready to play.
I feel you, man.
And I think I'm glad it went down that way.
I like that. I like that. I mean, what position did you play?
Cornerback.
Cornerback.
So I played cornerback and safety in college interchangeably for 4 years. So I kind of was able to do both and help the team out. You know, that was one of my best skills, was just being versatile.
Oh, okay.
That I could play different positions within the defense.
Okay.
So it allowed me to really be able to get out there even early on, you know, when I was a younger guy and play and contribute, because I could play different positions and do different things.
I see. Man, you said within the defense.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like when I look at football play, the deep defensive players, these guys are like massive, man.
Yeah. And I think that's the misconception, is that size matters, but it's relative. Like football is more mental than it is physical than people think.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because okay, I'm a little guy, but you can't go nowhere without your legs. So if I have to get you on the ground, I'm just gonna go after your legs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and people overthink that concept, but it's like if you really, really have a unique skill set, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna work out because that's what football really ends up being. You know what I mean? Is you just being able to fight and kind of be a dog, play in and play out. But if you really have a unique skill set like speed, quickness, agility, you can get around not being the biggest.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
I see. And so, I mean, was it during college that you knew that you really wanted to elevate your game to the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I always knew I wanted to play in the NFL even when I started in high school. You know what I'm saying? I think.
But I would imagine, like, in high school, you'd have been too small to even imagine the possibility of really that size being in the NFL, though.
Nah, man, I never looked at myself as small.
For real?
I was only smaller than other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To myself, I was the exact size for what I wanted to do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? For the position I wanted to play, being a skill player, cornerback, receiver, those guys just have to be fast, quick, you know what I'm saying? Tough.
Yeah.
But not necessarily big.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Most big people are slow.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna be big, then I need to be massive.
Okay.
But if I could be quick and agile, I mean, I know there's a skill set within football that's gonna highlight those skills for me, so I knew I was gonna be okay. I think for me, it was just a matter of, going out there and actually proving, mainly to myself, but also to whoever the evaluators and the people that were choosing people to play at the next level, that I do belong.
Wow.
Because I think coming from Northland or coming from this environment,
Yeah.
we don't really have a culture of a bunch of guys going to the NFL or a bunch of guys, you know what I'm saying, playing at the next level. So to debunk that, you really got to prove yourself. You know what I'm saying? You really got to go out there and put it on the film when they watch you on tape. You got to be in the newspapers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my focus was just to go out there and play and let my play do the talking, because I feel like if I played well, then eventually I'm going to get an opportunity.
I feel you, man. I feel you. So I mean, like, did you get drafted straight from college, or I mean, what was that process like for you?
Yeah, so I didn't get drafted at all, actually. So I went undrafted. I was signed as an undrafted free agent.
Okay.
And what that means is just, you come in and you're trying out for the team.
Right.
You're trying to make the team. So I was offered an opportunity with Tampa Bay in 2015, the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I went down there on a tryout, and then, I was signed to the training camp roster for preseason. And then I made it all the way through preseason, got on the practice squad, and was kind of just on the practice squad for 2 weeks. And then I was elevated to the main team, like the main roster.
Wow.
And that's how kind of that journey went into there. But I wasn't drafted. I even, tried out, for the CFL in Canada.
Yeah.
In between that time, because I was just looking to play football at the next level.
Yeah.
I really didn't care like whether it was NFL or what it was. I just know that I wanted to keep playing the game.
I feel you, man.
You know what I mean? So I think me having that pure heart and pure intention and clean heart about the game is what afforded me the opportunity to then end up with an NFL opportunity.
Wow,
It's
man.
because I wasn't really playing for money. I wasn't really playing to be famous. I was just playing because I love football.
Man, that's dope as heck,
You know what
yo.
I mean? So-
Like, I wonder, like, what sort of skill, right, did you have to showcase to actually make it to that roster?
Mainly it was my preparation. Like, I think that's the one thing that I always took very much pride in, is how I prepare for the game.
Okay.
You know what I mean? How I prepare for the practice. So weight room wise, like all the things that took us to prepare, I was always on top of that stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was always conditioning hard. I was always training hard. You know what I mean? I always knew my job. I always knew the plays. I always knew what to do. I could always be counted on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think those are the things that afforded me an opportunity, because when we got to the NFL, the talent level was pretty even.
Okay.
So you got to find a different way to rise above. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because everybody was the best player on their college team in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
They're only picking a couple guys to go to the NFL anyway.
Yep.
So you think that the guy that came from another school, he wasn't the best too? He's the best too. So what's gonna set you apart? So for me, it was always my preparation. You know what I mean? I would go into the game, or I would go into things, and we would play other opponents, and I would know what they're trying to do. So that gave me an edge.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I studied the game in a way that like somebody would study for a test.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? So when
see.
I went there, physically, I didn't have to like make everything so physically strenuous, because I play with my head a lot. And I used my brain to kind of dissect and figure out what was going on the field. So I think when I got there, to Tampa Bay, they were kind of surprised of how much knowledge of the game I had and how, you know, even as being an undrafted, I was ready to play just based off the fact that I knew what to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I already knew what to do. And then mainly it was the versatility part I told you about. Like, they knew that they could play me at different spots.
Oh, okay.
Within the
I
defense.
see.
So it's like, okay, we got this guy that we can use at different positions.
Yeah.
That's a good asset. That's a good asset to have.
I see. But I mean, like you said, right, with the talent level, you know, being so leveled, I mean, how do these coaches decide, you know, who's going to make it to the roster and who isn't? Because, you know, like you said, I mean, all these guys coming from various schools, those guys are the best at their freaking schools.
Yeah, so every day they infuse the team with competition, and every day it gets graded. So you're graded every day on your performance on the practice field during training camp. So at the end of the day, it's just a plus or minus game. You know what I'm saying? How many plus days did you have and how many minus days did you have? If somebody had more plus days than you, then they made it over you. You know what I'm saying? Because we're practicing for like a month.
Yeah.
You have to be able to string together 30 days of a body of work that you're presenting. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's 90 people, we're competing for 53 spots.
Man. How do you deal with that type of pressure, yo? You know, that's like, yo, that seems like massive, you know, weight on a man's shoulder.
You gotta perform every day.
Wow, man.
You gotta perform every day. You gotta be confident in your abilities. And the only way you can be confident in your abilities is if you prepare.
I see.
You know what I mean? The unprepared are the ones that are skeptical. If you're prepared, there's nothing to be skeptical about.
Okay.
Go out there, trust your preparation, and perform. And I always took an attitude of may the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I wasn't drafted. So nobody expects me to do anything anyway.
I see.
So why not just go out here and give it all I got every day?
No, I like that mindset, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got nothing to lose.
You got nothing to lose, bro. If I make a play, it's gonna be like, oh my God, he makes a play.
Yeah.
But if somebody makes a play on me, everybody's gonna be like, oh, we expected that. He's nobody.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I took that mentality and I was like, well, now I gotta make a name for myself. You know what I'm saying? And I think that underdog kind of grit and kind of grind is what I've always had within my journey, which is why, you know, a challenge and being caused, you know, having a bunch of opposition, you know, towards me is nothing. There's no such thing as pressure. You know what I mean? Pressure is for the unprepared.
I see.
You know what I mean?
No, that makes so much sense. You put it in such a succinct way, man.
Nah, for real.
And then, you know, how long did you play for the Buccaneers?
So I got to play 3 seasons with the Buccaneers, and I got injured my last season there, and I was going into my free agency year, so they didn't re-sign me. Okay. My injury was pretty bad. I had broken my kneecap, and it was actually my second time that I had did that.
Yeah, I see the scar.
So, you know, got to play there, like I said, 3 years, and, you know, afterwards went on some different tryouts and, you know, physicals with different teams. Lions, Browns, Broncos. A lot of different teams in the league were still interested in signing me, but I just was never really able to get back healthy again enough to play. So it got to a point to where I had to, you know, kind of make a choice whether I was just going to keep chasing and trying to get back from all the injuries, or, you know, kind of move on with my life and then just, you know, take that experience for what it was. I mean, I got to live out my childhood dream.
Yeah, man.
Most people can't really say they got to do that. So I'm forever blessed and forever thankful that I got to do that.
I see.
So I still love the game. You know, I'm still around it as much as I possibly can. But, you know, I definitely, you know, after my time in Tampa, that was pretty much like it. I played in another league in 2019 that was like a spring football league. Yeah. Kind of like you're seeing now with the XFL and some of these other leagues that are coming up.
Yes, sir.
So we were kind of like the first ones back then, the pre-pandemic, to start them. And, you know, after that, I suffered another injury, unfortunately. So I was like, man, it's time to.
I see.
It's time to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you, man.
For sure.
I guess for those of us, I've never set foot in a freaking NFL football stadium.
Yeah.
Right. So how is it like? I mean, not only have I not set foot in that, stadium, but I haven't actually stood there where the players actually stay.
Yeah.
Right. And get to witness the thousands of audience, man, like all eyes glued on you, man. Like, how is that feelings like? I mean, because I would imagine, man, the pressure would just be like.
Yeah, no, it's incredible, honestly, but once the whistle blows, I never saw anything.
Are you serious?
Never. I don't remember any games like where Whether NFL and college, because I played in some big environments in college too, bigger than the NFL. Like some college stadiums are bigger than NFL stadiums.
Oh my goodness!
Like we played against Florida, we played against University of Florida, we played against Mississippi State. And those places were loud. There was 100,000 people in some of those stadiums. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, once the whistle blows, I just was able to just zone into my person and my assignment on the field. And unless I came off the sideline or anything like that, I never really noticed like the amount of people in the stands or like, you know, what was going on in the environment. I just was really, it just felt like playing in the backyard every time. You know what I mean? I never worried about the uniform. I never worried about who I'm playing against, especially you go to the NFL. You know, sometimes you start lining up against people that you may have grown up idolizing. Yeah. Or you may have grown up seeing on TV.
Yeah, starstruck, man.
I never cared, bro.
For real?
I couldn't even tell you whether this was that person or that person. You know, if that's Larry Fitzgerald, that's number 11 on the other team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the attitude. I think that's what helped me be who I was, because a lot of people be like, oh, well, that's so-and-so. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I treated everybody the same. You know what I'm saying?
I like that mindset, Joe.
Yeah.
And then so a lot of athletes, you know, play for some time, and then by the time they getting ready to retire, they have nothing to their name, man.
Yeah.
So for someone like you, man, how did you strategize about what to do post football?
I didn't.
Man.
I didn't. I could sit here and tell you that I've made it look like I did.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I didn't because, one, I had come from an environment where nobody in my family had ever come upon that much amount of money in such a short time.
Yeah.
So nobody could really tell you what to do with it. You get what I'm saying? Nobody can really tell you where you put it. And, you know, think about it. When you come from an environment of, you know, there's not like a lineage of like rich people or something that I come from. A lot of the fortune or a lot of the money that you may come upon, you probably have to use it to help people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You probably have to use it to situate, you know, your family. And that's what a lot of people don't understand when they criticize athletes in that manner is, especially when you're black or, you know, you're come from a disenfranchised background, you realize all of our money, it goes back. You know what I'm saying? Even in Ghana, you know what I'm saying? Our parents send money back to their grandparents.
Yeah.
How much of their money, or to their parents, how much of that money do they really actually use to move forward here in this country? And imagine if they use that money to hand it down to their kids or invested it. But the fact of the matter is that their mindset is like somebody take care of them, so they're helping to pay it forward back.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of the athletes sometimes go into, is that they don't have like a threshold that they use to gauge what enough is enough of that.
Okay.
Because you want to take care of everybody, you want to take care of people, but at the same time, you want to buy yourself something nice.
Yeah.
You want to reward yourself.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to live that life, right? But at the same time, you need to invest. At the same time, you probably need to, you know what I'm saying, get a foundation for yourself, you know what I'm saying, and a savings. So I think you battle all of these things, and if you don't come from a financially literate background, you're gonna squander that money.
I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna squander that money, because who's to say that, you know, it's easy to say one day you're eating noodles and now all of a sudden you can afford filet mignon every night. Who gonna tell you, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It takes real discipline.
No, I feel you,
You know what
man.
I mean? It takes real life discipline in order to be like, wait, I don't need to do this, or I need to cut back on this, I need to cut back on that. So for me, a lot of it was trial and error, you know what I'm saying? And I think as I got older and more mature, started understanding how money works, started understanding that it's more of a tool than anything. We're not supposed to hoard it.
Yeah.
You know, we're supposed to put it back out there. We're supposed to invest it. If not, we lose it anyway. You know what I mean? If I started learning about depreciating assets, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have a car. When I went to the league, I didn't have a car.
Yeah.
So I had to buy a car. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there was somebody that went to the NFL and already had a car, so they didn't have to buy a car. So there were a lot of things that I didn't have that you know, financial position that the NFL put me in, I had to go ahead and grab those things. So I'm not regretting none of those things in any way. Do I wish that I would have used some of that money in a better way? Absolutely. Do I regret any way that I used my money or anything that happened or any of the mistakes? No, because I still wouldn't have learned the real use of money, or I still wouldn't have learned the real use of what I need to do in order to be real financially successful and stable within doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because then a lot of people, what they do is you may have a financial advisor, somebody that is gonna give you all the, like, hey, give me your money and I'm gonna invest it all or whatever. That's not gonna teach you nothing about money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's gonna happen when that person, something happened to that person? So my trial and error journey allowed me to learn for myself, so that now I'm a lot more confident about my endeavors moving forward because I know what to do. You know what I mean?
I see, man. I mean, wow, man. It seems like you've really appreciated, like both the successes and the failures, in this financial journey.
I'm forever grateful for the failures.
I see.
I'm forever grateful for the failures. Because without failing, I would have never succeeded in the first place. You get what I'm saying? I told you, like, I went to Bowling Green, small school, out of Northland. Nobody expects people to make that type of transition, let alone to the NFL. I didn't get drafted, so that was a failure in my head because I wanted to get drafted. So after every one of my failures came a success. So me getting to a certain level of financial position or making a certain amount of money, and then whether, I lost it, squandered it, made mistakes, or whatever had happened, I'm glad for what I learned in that process of the journey, because that did more for me than the money ever would have.
I think I've heard Mike Tyson say something similar.
I swear.
Yeah.
He wasn't lying.
That was interesting.
Because sometimes I wish everybody in the world could have as much money as they wanted to see if they would really still be happy. Because they think that, right? But you don't really know that, because like your real happiness cannot be rooted in the money. You know what I'm saying? Because the money is just a tool.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's paper. It has currency value, but it's just a tool. What you do with the money, you get what I'm saying, to make you more money, that's what's really gonna provide that financial stability. So somebody give you $2 million tomorrow and you ain't never had no money, you'll blow it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You'll blow it all.
I've heard a lot of lottery winners that they can win upwards of hundreds of millions, still end up, blowing it up. So yeah, you definitely got a point there. Yeah, I would ask though, because during your playtime and now you post football, do you still work out kind of like so intensely?
I didn't. At first, when I got done, man, because I never really enjoyed working out. I just knew that working out was what we had to do to be good. Okay. So I had to do it. Okay. That's part of the discipline I was telling you about. But afterwards, I was like, oh man, I'm not playing football no more. I'm chilling, But then I seen how physically working out is not just physical, it's also mental. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It kept me mentally sharp, you know what I'm saying? And I think now I'm in a routine where at least 3 to 4 times a week I'm physically active, whether I'm going to the gym, getting a hard workout in, just playing basketball, running around with some friends. But a lot of it now is health. Yeah. You know what I mean? We are over here, we're eating a bunch of foods that are, contaminated with a bunch of extra and additives and sugars and all of that.
Yes, sir.
We work a lot, stress and all of that. The only thing that really is gonna keep you healthy is a healthy lifestyle that has you eating well, recovering, and going to the gym.
I see.
You know what I mean?
I see.
So I think it's part of what I want to keep doing for my life, because I want to be around for a long time. You know what I mean?
I feel you,
man. The point of trying to make all this money and you're gonna die of diabetes or some health risk because you was being lazy and you got fat.
For real, yo.
So I'm not subscribing to that.
No, I like that. I like that, man. I've heard that the NFL has some crazy parties, man.
Yeah, man. I will say that even in my short time, I got to experience some very high level celebrity type of environments where it was like, sometimes I have to be like, dang, I can't believe I'm amongst like these people.
For real.
I'm gonna tell you a story, and I ain't never told this story anywhere or anybody.
Damn, right? Man.
One time when I was in Tampa, I was working out in the gym, and Jay-Z was working out in the gym with me.
Oh,
shit. In the Tampa Bay gym.
Damn.
Jay-Z. And here's how I tell you how messed up my pride was back then. I didn't even go up to him and say, what's up, we're taking a picture.
Damn, player.
And it was just me and him. It was just me and him in the gym and another trainer.
Wow.
Yup.
That's crazy, man.
Jay-Z. But I met countless celebrities, right? Because nobody's really a celebrity to me. But I think that environment was very eye-opening. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I feel like, I got to see like, they're just regular people a lot of times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they, like I said, they've had an exceptional skill set, an exceptional, talent that they've, maximized, and now they're being put on a pedestal. But a lot of them are super down to earth. But it was a fun time. We had a lot of fun.
Was there a star, man, that you saw that you literally got starstruck and you like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm seeing this dude or this girl? Probably not, man, with your mindset, man.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. There was a couple people that, like, you know, it was pretty cool. Like Phillip Rivers was a quarterback.
Okay.
Grew up watching, like Drew Brees. You know what I'm saying? There were a couple players that I played against. Andre Johnson. There's a couple players I played against that I was like, wow, like, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, I ain't gonna lie. Even the Larry Fitzgerald thing, I tried to downplay it, but that was pretty cool. You know what I mean? Because I've been watching him literally since like 03, 04, 05, you know what I mean? Since he was in college. And then to be lining up against people like that, it was pretty cool. But
you ever played against Tom Brady?
No.
Man.
No. We played against them, but I didn't play.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
We played against them, but I didn't play.
Wow.
So, but you know, sharing the field with people like Tom Brady or sharing, you know what I'm saying? It always was like a really, really cool moment. But I'm trying to think. I can't really think of nobody off the top of my head, celebrity-wise, though.
But I mean, let me ask you this though.
Maybe Gucci.
You saw Gucci? Gucci Mane?
Gucci and the Migos, Quavo.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was in like a studio session that they were in one time when I was like in LA, like this back in like 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me at least you said what's up or something.
Yeah. They were super cool. They were super cool. Yeah.
All right, man. Yo, Gucci done changed, man, since he came out of jail, bro.
Yeah.
The fat belly, he's like, bro, man, it's a new Gucci.
Yeah, it's no Gucci.
Man. All right, let me ask you this though, man. Is fame what it's cracked out to be though?
Never.
For real? Like, and what? Can you talk a bit more about that?
Because me personally, like honestly, I never wanted to be famous. That's why, like you go on my socials or my Instagram, like I probably have like 4,000, 5,000 followers. Like, you know, like I never wanted to put myself out there because the problem with that is that you put yourself out there for the good, but you also put yourself out there for the bad. And we're all human. We all have flaws.
Yes, sir.
We all have shortcomings. Do I want those highlighted? Do I want those out there in the public eye? Absolutely not. Because they only build you up and then they gonna bring you down.
Yeah, I feel
you. get what I'm saying?
Yes,
so I think it's never cracked up what it's all it's cracked up to be. Rather than be famous, man, you need to focus on getting some money. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
because
man.
being famous don't pay the bills.
Nah, I fuck with that, man. As long as the outcome is income, man.
That's
like
what
Drake
it
said,
is. The outcome gotta be income.
Man, I feel that. I feel that, bro. All right, man. Let's get ready to wrap this up, man. So you know, you've been through it all, man. Like the tough college practices. You know, like you've been to the classes, and then like having to kind of like do a roundabout way to get to the NFL. What takeaways, right, would you have for youngins, man, that want to follow in your footsteps and maybe make it in the NFL as well?
Yeah, I'd say this. It's very important early on to identify what you want.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because if you don't know what you want, other people will just use you for what they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
And I think a lot of people go through life going through the motions of, I'm going to figure this out, Man, pick something, stick to it, commit to it. You know what I'm saying? Put the work in, realize that nothing good happens like right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes time for everything good to happen. If something good happens fast, then it's probably not that good anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just having that spirit of being able to discern what's good for you and what's not good for you, you know what I'm saying? Making choices to be disciplined and only choosing the things that are really gonna be helpful towards your goal. You know what I mean? And saying no to all the other things that aren't gonna be helpful towards your goal. And I think just having an unwavering commitment and focus towards your goals, you know what I mean? And just realizing that it's the journey, not the destination, you know what I mean? Because granted, I wanted to make it to the NFL. I was rooted on the work that it took to do it every day. That's why I got to do what I got to do. If I would have just been rooted in what it takes in making it to the NFL, I would have just kind of did whatever I saw. But I was rooted that in order to make the NFL, I have to be good tomorrow in the weight training session, tomorrow in the practice, and then Saturday in the game. And that's all that matters.
Wow.
It's small steps to get to the big goals. So that's what I would say, is don't quit, don't give up. People are gonna doubt you. Don't expect people to, believe in your dreams or see your visions. I mean, why should they? You know what I mean? It's not them. You know what I mean? So I feel a lot of people get discouraged sometimes because their environment doesn't support them, but have you given them something to support? Have you given them something to be proud of. You know what I'm saying? You have to work on refining yourself as a product. You know what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of kids and a lot of people that are striving to achieve big things need to just stay focused on. They just be rooted in the work, be rooted in the process, and don't be attached to the outcome and the results. And I think if you take that mindset and that attitude, the outcome and the results will be what you want them to be.
Man, that's dope as heck, yo. And I feel like, yo, the whole journey has made you like, you've actually matured, man.
No question, bro.
That's dope as heck, yo.
No question. I'm so glad everything that happened to me, man. And I'm ready for more of it to happen, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe in like life being easy whatsoever, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has to fight their own little hardship, but I think it's the attitude of just persevering through it, because you know how much better of a person perseverance through hard times and adversity makes you. I think if you're rooted in that, you're always gonna just keep a positive outlook. You're gonna be all right.
Yo, man, and YouTube, that's a wrap, man. Subscribe to the channel and be on the lookout, man, for dope ass clips like these, bro. But thanks for coming through, bro.
Man, for sure. Thank you for having me, man.
For sure.
We out.